Hey Jackal! In this video, I'll focus on AI, more specifically Stability AI and how I use it. Now if you go to Hugging Face, you will find a bunch of AI models. Stability AI is one of them, and they also have a bunch of different models. The one that I have been using is the Stable Diffusion 3.5 Large Turbo. It means that it's fast and also gives you decent results, but you also need a GPU that can handle it. So in my specific case, this will be an NVIDIA RTX 3080. At my workplace, I have an NVIDIA RTX 4090 and it's running like a beast, at least with the tasks that I give it. Now what you can do with Stability AI is something like this. You could totally use this as a thumbnail if you wanted to, but in that case there is also some licensing, so let's take a quick peek. So if you're making less than 1 million in annual revenue, which I think most of us are, then we can use this for free even if we use it for thumbnails or something else. Now you can install this in multiple ways. I have installed it previously using command lines and whatnot and downloading the models manually. But you can also go to the GitHub, type in StabilityMatrix. And as you can see, this is actually multi-platform package manager for Stable Diffusion. And you have basically all of the major operating systems supported. And you can also just transfer the installation to another PC. Says it right here. So, and if this is to be believed, it is a one-click install and update for Stable Diffusion Web. The UI packages, we have a lot of them. The one that I have used is ComfyUI. So maybe we can take a look at this one. Now to get to this window, you will simply type in an IP in a browser. At least that is how I've done it previously. If it will be done any differently, in this way, once we install the StabilityAI using the package manager, we'll take a look. Now to install the Stability Manager, let's go to latest release. You can read what has been added, changed and fixed. And in this case, I will go with Windows x64. Now the installation is not big, as you can see, 124 megabytes. Once downloaded, open this up. There is only an X file inside, so copy it to where you want or extract and then simply launch it. Now this window will pop up most likely unless you have it disabled. If you don't trust what this app is doing, then you can always install the Stability AI, the models, and any of the UIs manually. So let's see what the default GPU is. It is RTX 3080. That's exactly what I have. And you have to agree to the license to continue. Now I want to change this folder. I don't want it to be on my C drive. So I'll put it on my daily drive. It has crashed for some reason. Maybe because I chose just the D drive. So let me make a new folder then. You can also install it in portable mode. In this case, it would go to the data, but I don't want that, so I will just use the folder that I specified. If you want, you can enable the statistics, how you use it for the analytics. And now we can install one of the UIs with the push of a buttons. Now I do want to use the ComfyUI, but it says inference compatible. No idea what that is, but I'll click it. Now they have a bunch of models, but none of the ones that I actually want. So if I click download, nothing should be installed, I guess. at least none of the models anyway. Speaking of the models, if you do decide to install them manually, let's go with the large version. This just gives you a taste of what can be achieved. So if you click on the name, this is the page that pops up, and you can download the model, but you first have to actually sign up and then log in. So I have now logged in. Go to the files and versions. Now I still have to fill this all in. So this one is 16.5 gigabytes. Let's go with the 3.5 large. This one should be smaller and quicker to download. So files. And this one is also 16.5 gigabytes. I thought it was smaller than this. So this is still installing, and I have no idea what is installing because it doesn't say anything. Oh, it does. So it's installing something. Let's see. But there is no mention of how big the installation is. So we also have no idea how long this will take. In the meantime, you can fill in all of the required fields. Once you have everything filled in, agree and access the repository. And now you will be able to download the necessary files in case we need to. We will see once this installation is complete. Now it seems my luck has struck again. When it comes to one-click solutions, I just don't have any luck. This failed to install. Now I have no idea what the issue is, but I guess I'll have to do it the manual way. Well, at least something installed, but I have no idea what hasn't installed. So let's click on the StabilityMatrix. So I guess ComfyUI has installed, so at least that's something. So yep, it does use a web browser, a port, but I still need some kind of a model. And I guess I will install that manually, unless we can access multiple models. So model browser, let's take a look. Let's see if it finds the model that I want. No luck. What about just stability? I don't think this is the model that I want. Now in this case, because I'm using the Hugging Face models, so Stable Diffusion 3.5 large turbo, you have to install or download the turbo safe tensors. So this is 16.5 gigabytes, and you also need the JSON file with the example workflow, which is just a few kilobytes. So this will be async, this not so much, well, depending on the connection. At the moment it says an hour, but this could take longer or quicker. So I'll see you once this is done. With these two files now downloaded, we can put them into the specified folders, which in this case we have to go to StabilityMatrix installation, packages, ComfyUI, models, and we'll put the model into the checkpoints right here, and we'll put this workflow JSON file into the base section, in this case actually under the ComfyUI, so right here. Now if I launch ComfyUI, I should be able to use the Stable Diffusion and the workflow. So let's launch it, see if this actually works. I guess it is working, but it needed a little bit of time to launch. So now we can copy the URL address. It's basically the local IP and the port that this is running on. Then go to your favorite web browser that you want to use this in, paste the address in, I'll go full screen, and this is what you will see when you have the base workflow. So this is the default. It is using the large turbo safe tensors, but I actually want to load not the checkpoint, but the workflow. So we can go to the top, workflow. Can we go to open? Select the workflow, which is this one, open it. And this is the default workflow for this StabilityAI. Now I have not downloaded these files, so I do hope they are already included if we want to make some clips. So we will be typing what we want inside here. Now this is something that has already been typed in, but how do you actually get it to work? Well, they have changed the UI a bit, so the queue is now down here. You can move this around. So we can only queue one workflow. No. So you also have a batch count, so you can increase this value up to 800. Maybe I will do 4 for now, and just so you can see what happens. And nothing will happen because I don't have these files. So these files are also something that you need. And where the heck do you get those? Well, let's take a look. So this is the one that I have downloaded, but we do need some other files. Is this one of them? We will have to take a look. So let's see, which one does it need? So probably one of these two. I think I'll go with the bigger one, so I will download this one. And then we have two clips, L and G. I believe these two. So I also have to download these 3 files, which can be found under the text encoders. And where do I then put these files? That is a good question. So it is under the ComfyUI models, and I believe, no, not checkpoints, clip. You put those under the clip. So we can also directly download to the clip section, or just download it somewhere else and then put the files inside here. Now once I download these 3 files, I will come back and we'll continue the video. So with the files now downloaded and inside the clips folder, let's go back into the ComfyUI and see if this will now run out of the box. So press the Q again. Nope. So we do have to make some changes. So clip name, this will be the first one, I guess. And how you easily do this is by simply dragging the files in. So the first one was G. At least this is how it should have been done. So I guess the only thing that I had to do was to click on the restart button. And also, as you can see in the device, it is using the NVIDIA. So it's using my GPU. It will not be using my CPU, which would mean it's very slow. And now, when this is empty, when you click on it, you can simply select all of the files that you have put in the clip folder. So I will do just that, like so. And now when I press Q, we should get something in the output. Now this is not immediate, as you can see. So currently it's at this node, and I have just used default values. So this is what it made, or it's making, and we should see something at the end. So currently it's at half. Now it's decoding the image, or all of the values, and we should get the preview. Nice. Now the issue with this is, do we have any output? How do you save this? Because this is not saved automatically. You can right click and save image, but you probably want to do this automatically. And also, where are the image saved? If you use save image, you can basically save wherever you want, but by default, this will be put under the ComfyUI output. As you can see, output images will be put here, but so that we don't have to do this manually, we can add a node. Now to add a node, you could right click and then you have to click again if there is an arrow to open the menus. But in this case, you would have to take a look at everything. In this case, it's under image and save image. But you can also go to the node library, simply type in save, and you have the save image node. So what we'll do with this node, we can simply put it below the image, so it's kind of parallel, and simply take the output of the image, put it here, and you can type in the prefix. And usually what I do is simply use a name of the images that I'll be making. So maybe we'll make a sword. As I said, we can make batches. So in this case, I'll just make 4 images. And now to make a sword, so the naming actually has some sense, we'll type something in here. Now what I usually use, StabilityAI and ComfyUI, is to make images. What kind? Well, you could make thumbnails. I haven't done that yet, so maybe we'll take a look what it can actually output. But I do use it for making game art, specifically some icons, and to get ideas. And most notably, it's good with pixel art. At least that is what I found. So what I usually do is make a grid layout.
A few moments later.
So maybe like this. Make a grid layout with 9 one-handed sword icons for a game. The icons have a square border and the background is white. The art style is pixel art. So if I press Q, this will make 4 images, save them automatically, once it's done anyway. And maybe I could also change maybe the number of steps so it does this faster. I can tell you that a 4090 does this way faster. So this is image number 1. If we did not have this save image node, then the next image would override the preview image, and if you did not save it manually, like so, then you would basically lose any image that is being created. So this is image number 2. Now sometimes you can get lucky, you could use maybe multiple of the same icons. So in this case, this could be maybe sword number 1, this could be sword number 2, and then you would have to make some changes and adjustments if you wanted to use this style of icons. This time I don't really like the results. Maybe this one with a few tweaks, but that's about it. And this one, now while these are not swords, they do look like cool little icons that you could use for coins, gems, and stuff like that. And now let's take a look at the output folder, and we do have the sword and the number is added automatically. And yeah, as you can see, we do have 4 sword images inside the output folder. So maybe let's just make one thumbnail. This will be one. Now what you can also do, control after generate. If it's randomized, then every result will be different. If it's fixed, it will be kind of the same. And if it's incremented or decremented, it will be a little bit different than the previous result. At least that is my understanding. I'm not an expert on this, at least not yet. So if you do need some expertise, I suggest you watch different videos. This is just a basic setup and how to get it running for game art and maybe also thumbnails. Now the option that I like to use is grunge. So this is kind of a style. So let's just see what it will do. And let's see what the final result will be. So it will be kind of suspense. Now that looks quite interesting. I'm kind of blown away. She does have a little bit of a butt chin, but looks good. But what I had imagined was that, well, maybe the AI was a bit more robotic. So maybe robot AI is making video thumbnails, and let's see what it will do with this one. And also I am using an NVIDIA GPU, but I have no idea if this also works with AMD GPUs. I think it should, but let's just double check. So the Brave AI says that it does work. It's a little bit slower, and on Windows at least only through direct machine learning. But then you have here run Stable Diffusion 10 times faster on AMD GPUs. But then you also have ComfyUI. When was this posted? A year and a half ago. So probably some changes have been made. Well, at least you do have a guide on how to install the Stable Diffusion with Radeon or AMD GPU. So it is possible, but I do not know how well that works. Now as for the result, this time at least, looks good. Now let's take a look at the output. I haven't changed the name, so it kept the sword name. But we have this one and this one. Now you can also specify the output folder, at least I was able to, that is on a different PC. Well, I have done the installation in a different way, so I didn't use the one button click solution. Well, firstly, let me just show you what has to be changed. So StabilityMatrix, packages, ComfyUI, and you have this one, the extra model paths, and you have the folder paths. This is what has to be changed or specified. It says if we have some arguments for the output directory, then the output directory value gets set to this, and lastly folder paths set the output directory to this value. So how can you change this? Now obviously you have to pass some arguments. So can we pass it directly to the main.py? So this is the main.py, not the extra model. So you find this here. Just for testing purposes, I can make a new folder, specify this config output, and what I will do is firstly add some parameters to the main.py. This is what you would usually do. If you had a bad file, you would simply put this in. But now I will simply try to put this into, can this be done in StabilityMatrix, since this is what we run, properties. It's also just the description, or can this be done in a shortcut? Paste shortcut. So this is what you have to do. At least I hope so. I'll paste this section in, paste this section in, and now I will simply use my D and config output. Apply that. And now I should be able to basically put this on my desktop, launch it. So first I will stop this launcher, close that. Basically what we're doing is just launching a server, so to speak. So let's see if it launches. So that was okay. Launch this. Now it is starting. And now we are back and reconnected. But I don't see anything about the output being changed. So maybe this is not the way. So let us simply do a quick thumbnail test and we'll see where this actually gets saved. So this did not change where the file is being output. So it has been put into the output folder of ComfyUI, which is not the best. Now you could still make a shortcut to this folder if you wanted to. I think it's right clicking and dragging it to say desktop. As you can see, create shortcut here. That would be one way, but ideally you would be able to change the actual path. I did find some plugin if that is what you want. It's not supported anymore though. I think this one's it. Yeah, so was Sasquatch, was no suit ComfyUI. Now this plugin has a bunch more utility than just specifying and changing the path output. And also, as you can see, it has not been updated. And also, while you make images, if you open up this ComfyUI panel, you will also see the progress of the images. I will put 4 images into the queue. And if I open this up, we got 4 prompts. And this is now how it's doing the images. And as you can see, these images are being done quite fast. The game icons though, that took some time. I think that about covers the basis of StabilityAI and ComfyUI and how to use it to make thumbnails and maybe some game icons to get some inspiration flowing. Also, to get things done faster, you can change the width and the height. So in this case we had 1000 by 1000. Now if you install this manually, this is ComfyUI running in the browser. So you will also have this UI and the node setup. The one thing that you won't have is StabilityMatrix. Now you will still have something similar to this, except it will run in the command prompt, which is basically something like this. But you won't have these properties right here that you can use, and a simple way to download additional models. So you do have a bunch of models, but you don't have all of the models. So if you need specific models, you can find them online, like on Hugging Face and probably a bunch of other websites. So just a quick tip, I have found how to change the output folder to the one that I have specified. What you need to do, or where this is done, is in the StabilityMatrix, Packages, ComfyUI. You have to open the folder paths. Then you will have the output directory. I have commented this line out with a hashtag. And then simply specify output directory equals to the path that you want. In this case it was the Comfy output, which is exactly this path. So you can simply copy and paste it inside, and don't forget to put the quotes. So put a quote in the front and at the end. And then you'll simply get the images put into this folder. And I do like this guy, he means business and he's done making thumbnails. And now for the surprise, what did it output? So we had this one, this one, this one. This one's kinda cute though. And this one looks stressed out. Now that's it for this video. If you'd like to see more content on this topic of using AI to making images, be it for thumbnails or something else, like game art and maybe also some video clips, do let me know in the comments down below and subscribe to the channel, as that will basically tell me that yes, you do want to see the content. That's it for now. I'm Simon, and until next time, Jackal, keep it digital.